Hi guys, welcome back. It's Tuesday the 10th of August. I had this week off work. I started working on the coupe on the Saturday, and because of the lockdown it's working in my favour. I was able to put a bit of time into it, but Saturday morning I got a message from my sister-in-law saying that she's a close contact with COVID. I'm a secondary contact, so I had to get tested at Maitland Showground. 4 hours later I got the test, and then I was told to isolate, so I've had to isolate myself and my son, and then that was all good. And then come Sunday afternoon I still didn't get a result, so I had to tell my son's mother, and yeah, she's not happy about it. I won't go there. It turned into a shit fight. She thinks I'm lying. Nothing I can do about it. So now, yesterday I didn't get much done, just helped my son do homeschooling and stuff, and so today I'm going to start with this rear quarter. So I've got to weld up. I'm not going to put this vent thing back on here. For starters, you can't. It's really difficult to get original ones, and they have aftermarket ones, but I don't think it's necessary. It's a GS. At some point, someone's tried to dress this car up to make it look like a GT. It had the blacked out bonnet, had the blacked out rear panel. It had these on there at one stage. It did have the U-Butte fuel cap on it, the lockable one. Oh, the one that opens up, GT style. So yeah, someone's tried to make this look like a GT, and I'm just going to bring it back just to being a GS and stick to what's on the build sheet. There's the interior colours, colour of the car. I don't know about the factory option 52 road wheels yet. See how we'll go, but they're a bit narrow. But I've got the boot, it's almost done. Come out really good. Just needs a good another block again. I'll just wait for this stuff to cure. High build primer, so it's taking a while to cure because it's pretty cold, but it's really straight. It's really good. I had to make the paint to the color of the car, burnt orange, so that way I put the color over top, and it worked good. But yeah, I had to I'll roll this car back over a bit. So this corner here, that was pretty original, hasn't been changed at all. It's just a little bit of repairs underneath here, but over here was pretty dramatic. This whole area, this car's had a good whack in for here, so this is all a new section I made myself. All this was rusted out. This corner was all out of shape benders, so I put some new sections in here. So yeah, I've had to use a bit of filler just to get it back, but I've got the profile pretty good. A lot of work, good day's work in that. Just getting the profile right, but I can't really tell the difference. I've been measure the gap around here, make sure it's the same on this side. So what I'll do now, I'll fire up this welder, and I'll have to muck around the amps and make sure it's spot on, because I don't want to get much distortion. So little tiny welds in here just to fill that up, dress it back, and then I'll start applying filler this panel, and yeah, bring it back to its former glory. So I'm gonna do this rear quarter. So what I do, got the 3M platinum body filler, got the applicator. So now I just do a large area, be generous. There's heaps of waste doing it this way, but I don't care. Whole Weber takes heaps longer for it to set. So there's heaps of filler in there, way too much. So what I do, get one of these splines, and these are really good. These steel applicator, got like a pack of 10 for like 14 bucks or something. So now got the spline, number 2, start going over it. You're gonna be on video, buddy.
Me?
Yep. It's all good. Camera. Alex is doing homeschooling, aren't you, mate?
Well, what do you mean I'm on video?
I'm doing a GoPro video. I've got to go.
Well, is it on?
Yeah, yeah. All good.
Wait, so they can't hear me?
They can hear you. Oh, cat. There's got a cat in here. I know there's a dip there. Bits going on the ground. This top section is really straight. It's really good. So what I'll do, this is really good, this area, it's really straight. Like I've told you before, this bonnet, this rear quarter, driver's side's a lot better than the other areas, so I'll just do up here now. Yeah, I've got these two cats a while back, brother and sister. They were on death row, they weren't going to go anywhere, like they were home for them, so I took them on. And my son's let them outside to run around, and as you'd know, they're going to go crazy. Just starting to turn now, so what I'll do, I know where I put this new arch in. It's going to need a heap of floor in there, so now. How well as you can see it. So what I'll do now, get some thinners, wet rag thinners, and just go over the spline, the board I just used. I had this onion board I used for mix and bog up on, but I forgot to order another one. But now we're in lockdown, we can't go anywhere to go buy one, so I'll let this set. Then I'll get the 80 grit Cubitron frame sandpaper, and then I'll go over it and just block it down. But this is really straight. This panel is really good. There's one little ding here where something's been dropped on it in the past, but mainly across where I've done the arches, there's little highs and lows, and it's pretty good. So I'll start blocking it now. But what I've got, this 3M paper, 80 grit, really good, comes like off on a roll, felt backing. Yeah, really good product. I mean, I had never used the sandpaper, it works this good. It's no good on electric orbital sanders and stuff, it just falls apart, it's not designed for it, it's too thick and soft for it. It's good for blocking, so what I'll do now, I've got the spline, don't know which number it is, might be number 7. So what I've done, I've read in one of the comments once, someone said that it's really hard to grip these splines, so I just use sandpaper either side, get a good grip of it. And then on the other side here, I've got this old sandpaper, 120 grit I was using, but it wears. It's not really suitable for this, like it's too fine, it doesn't come off quick enough, the filler, so use this 80 grit, and yeah, it's really good. So I'm not going to film the whole lot, but basically all I'm doing is just I'll go the other way, but the camera's in the road. So, one beauty of this paper 3M, it doesn't block up near as easy as other sandpapers. I don't know what they've done with it, but it just lasts for ages. Like this paper, I could block this whole rear quarter down. Even hitting metal, which typically makes these go blunt, doesn't affect it as much. It just lasts for ages. Here. Keep away from this edge. Leave that a little bit proud so that I can concentrate. It's the best thing about this rotisserie, I can get the car in a good position where I could have got line of sight. Come up really well. So straight, I usually get a glove and it's sort of, you get a better feel of if there's any highs and lows, but I'm pretty sure this is straight. There's little spots here where it's coming up, but very minimal. I reckon I'll get away with blocking this area, look for the highs and lows, and then I'll use this 3M guide coat. I can put that on there. Look for any highs and lows and just go to the whole area, and then I could just simply use this product, the high fill poly primer. So yeah, I could just put that over top of it so that you can use it from basically as a sealer right through to the colour, then you clear and all that. So yeah, it's a really good product. So I can put that straight over this, and I can thin it out up to 10% with acetone if I want. And then, yeah, fill this whole area, then I can just block it. But the trouble is, you put this poly primer on, I've noticed anything below 21 degrees and it just takes ages to set. And I just called him automotive and he said, yeah, you need to get the car out in the sun. Get the panel out in the sun, yeah, it turns real quick then. So yeah, once you put the poly primer in there, you're committed, then you can't do anything until it's set. So, but I reckon if I do, say, do up all around here, and I'm pretty happy that, you know, it's reasonably straight, you know, there's minimal highs and lows, and I'll do all up around here, do all up around the arch, all up around this area up here, and then, yeah, put the primer filler on it, let it sit, and then you'll be able to see the highs and lows a little bit better. But, yeah, so far so good. So yeah, once this quarter's done, then I can just go to the other side. The other side's going to need more work, but it's, yeah, everything happens so quick when it comes to bodywork. Once you've got the right tools and sort of got a gist of what you need to do. I've just blocked it back, and obviously there's a lot of highs and lows and simply not enough filler in the on the panel. I just noticed I got a big dirty crack across the screen of my GoPro. Dear, oh dear. So what I'm going to do now, I've just marked out some of the obvious sort of big areas that need to be done up here. But I need to do around here because basically there's a join of the custom garage wheel arch goes around here. So join there, then it goes across here where the rear spares panel goes across the bottom. So it goes across here, and then yeah, then it goes joins up to the original what's left the rear panel at the back there. So yeah, I'll just mix up some filler and I'll do that area too. I didn't block that; it needs to be done, but it's reasonably straight there. I won't put any more filler across up here. I think that's pretty good, because it's going to get to a point where I'm going to put that poly primer over it and then just block it back, because it's got really good building ability. So yeah, get onto it. It's been a big day. I actually weighed myself before I started doing this body work. I started on it and I realised this is really labour intensive. So yeah, I weighed myself on like 91 kilos and I thought, I'm going to lose weight doing this. And after today's effort, yes, these rear quarters are massive. So in order to keep it all level, you try to do as much of a large area as possible to just to keep it even. So you're straightforward up the top there. It's just, there's not much bulk, and up here it's starting to build up a little bit. By the time you sand it back, it's only probably 1.5 mil, 2 mil there maybe. It's not very thick, but it's just such a big area you're sanding. So put a bit of time in this area, because where they drilled it, the metal's all bent a little bit out of shape, so I've had to block this whole area. But so yeah, just blocked the whole area, and then I had to get this shape back again. Like there's a joint across here, so I had to fabricate a new section across there originally, but that's worked out really good. Then blended in here where it's joined up. It's really hard to tell around here, because just above the lip there, or just above the edge, there's like a join. So around there's definitely gonna need filler. And then under here, I've just put heaps on, but you see on the floor there's so much waste, but I don't care, it's just the way it is. It's so much cheaper using this 3M Platinum. It's cheaper using that than it is to use this stuff. That stuff's like 300 bucks a tin, where that stuff's only about 74. So yeah, it's better off put as much filler as you can, get it best you can, then you can put the poly primer over it, and then you do more of the fine tuning with the poly primer. Because once you put poly primer on, I've learnt once anything under 21 degrees, and it doesn't really set properly, it just, see, I painted this on Saturday, and today I've just been able to touch it because it's been really cold, like under 21 degrees. So yeah, I called up Millimeter today and I said, you know, what's going on with this poly primer? Can you lend me some help? And they said, yeah, just anything under 29 degrees, and it doesn't really go off properly, so you have to sort of wait for the temperature to go up. I'll put out the sun. So yeah, today was about 25, so yeah, it's I reckon if we get the same temperature tomorrow, I'll be sanding that, but I'm not going to worry about it for a while. I'm just going to focus on this quarter at this point. But I've been using, for this area here, I've been using the Durablock. I bought these in the kit off eBay. And then for most of the other areas, just the splines, doing this all across here. And yeah, so I reckon I've got to put a bit of filler around here. And notice there's a little bit of a step there, slightly. So I do around here, probably have to go there a bit. It seems to be flat, but yeah, once I put the poly primer on there, it's going to look really nice, and it's going to really expose all these areas across here where they're uneven. But I'll put heaps of layers on. I think they say maximum 4 layers at one time, so I reckon that'll be plenty enough. But I'm using the Felbus GPI. Bit of a universal sort of spray gun. I've got 1.4, 1.6 and 1.8 fluid tips. So the 1.8 is the best I've got for this sort of polyprimer. A 2.0 will be a lot better, but that's all I've got. So I just use a bit of acetone to thin it out a bit. See, I'll wrap it up for today, and yeah, tomorrow I'll just start blocking it, and hopefully tomorrow afternoon I'll be able to give it a coat of the polyprimer to see how it looks, and then I'll have to go on to the other side. Bit of a late start today. I had to take my son to his hometown, which is like 45 minutes away. 9 o'clock, so a bit of a late start, but I've managed to get a fair bit done. So I'm at the point now, I keep putting filler in little areas, like little spots here and there. Gonna have to be extremely careful because you put too much filler in one spot and then you sand that and then you create drama. So when I put the filler in now, I'll make sure it's flush with the hole. Yeah, over here and here. I thought this was pretty straight, but I guess it's not. I'll let the sander block do its thing, and yeah, it's gonna show me if it's straight or not. So it's coming up really good. You can see grey spots for it. It's very thin, but yeah, it's a bit of low there. I'll leave that. I won't worry about touching that. Get that. This profile here is good. This was a lot of work because I'd put a lot of filler in it and then sand it back, and then luckily this rear quarter's got its body line. It looks pretty good before I started. So, but I know the other side's going to be a bit of an arsehole, but it's all good. This is a bit of a this will sort of get me on track. I'll do this and I'll give me an idea about the other side then. So what I'll do now, fix up all these little bits around here. Then I might have a go up top here. Then I'll give it a coat of this polyprimer. I've just been, I wasn't going to touch this boot, but today's a pretty warmish sort of day. I think it's around 26, 27 degrees, and as soon as it bloody warms up, this poly film, it just goes off real quickly. So what I've done, I've got this spline here, got 80 grit that side, I've got the 120 Indiana, I think it's called sticky back sandpaper to sun grip it. But I found in the first clip I showed you is when I was applying the filler, I was using a spline that was too thin, so I was able to sort of bend and distort and warp. So what I've done, I'm using this thicker one, and I'm just going over the whole boot. Going over it like that. So I'll flip the car over. It's hard to do over there, but I've been doing the other side as well, and just going over it like this. I reckon there's no word of a lie, this boot is about 95% finished. I'll just skip the camera and show you this. That stuff like here, a little bit over here needs more filler. So what I'll do, I'll clean this up. I won't worry about going down to 120 or 240 or anything like that. I'll just leave the 80 grit marks in it. Then I'll get another coat of primer filler, and whilst I'm at it, I'll do this rear quarter. But it's coming along really good. It's so tempting when you get like this spot here, for example, it's a bit of a low, and it's so tempting just to do that spot to get it out. But then when you look at the, when you put this primer poly filler on, it looks like just burnt orange paint, and all the imperfections come out, like really stand out. So that was one of them there. That really stood out. There was another spot up here. That one there really stood out. A couple around here, but so I'll get another coat and see how it goes. But I'm using the I've got this coffee jar. It's a marked 500 ml, and I've got this little syringe here. Do it really accurately because yeah, I just want to get it right because it's so easy to use too much of this hardener. So he said to me when I spoke to Automotive, and he said use less, don't use too much, like use less than what you need is better than using too much. Using too much yeah, all bad shit can happen. I know from the past when I've used like bog plastic fillers that you put too much hardener in it, and yeah, potential for it to crack later. So yeah, it's coming on spring soon anyway, so it's going to be really good for doing this bodywork stuff. Just giving it a coat, the poly primer. So yeah, I spoke to Malamotive today, and yesterday, and he said that we went to a bit of trouble to make sure this primer is mixed up to be as close as it can to like burnt orange. So yeah, I reckon he got it pretty close. And yeah, it's come out really good. The only thing let's use this light so you can see it better, but it's pretty dark in here. This line, there's a definitive line, this one here, as you can see it here, it's pretty much blended in. So yeah, I'm gonna have to work on that, but you don't really know how bad it is until you put a coat like this on it, because it really exposes everything, the highs and lows and everything. So you can see there, the line, the body line's really close. Like, it's amazing. It's really good. I'm stoked with that. I always knew this quarter was going to be better than the other one. And yeah, the boot's just about finished. There's not much left to do on that. I can see a few lines across here, a few imperfections, but that won't take much to block out. See this corner here. Noticed over here, just one little spot right there. It's not right. Spot there. It's got a fair bit of orange peel, but let's flip this car over so you can show this line better. So this here is pretty good. Happy with that. Yeah, it's just that line I wrap around here needs a bit of work. I had exactly the same problem with the Escort. It was like this. The line here was all messed up because the Escort right here on the driver's side had a hard, looked like it had been T-boned, and the panel bed had gone to town on it. But this one here, yeah, it's got no accident damage. As much as the rust it had in it and all that, yeah, it's really good. So I won't be able to do anything to this quarter now for probably, I won't touch it now for a week, I don't reckon. It's not quite warm enough at the moment. At the moment it's like 22, 23 degrees, and 21's like the sweet point where it starts setting, but I reckon I'll look in the weather app and just see what how the temperature's going, but I won't even bother. Forget about this now. So I've got tomorrow, and which is Thursday, and then I've got night shift Friday night, so this quarter here, yeah, it's going to need a lot of attention. So to start with, just looking over it. Oh, it's hard to turn. The line here is good, which is a bonus, because I think I welded a bit higher on this side, where the other side I welded pretty close to here. So it doesn't matter. Just means a little bit more work. I'm just got some time into it, but the body line's not too bad actually. It's just there's massive side swipe damage where it's hit right here and just moved across. One gouge across there, and then there was a big gouge across here. This is an original door, it's off panel band. So the gouge went across here, went right across here, right across here. So all this is all caved in, just like that. It was horrible. So I'll wrap it up for this video. I could put more time into showing you the blocking and that, but it's so time consuming, and to be honest, when you're doing these GoPro videos, like, you can put like hours into editing. Like, I don't know how the other guys do it. I don't know if they get their friends to do it, but I struggle with their PCs doing the editing, so I just use my phone. But I should be able to get a fair bit done tomorrow. I've got no appointments or anything. Yep. So I'll wrap it up for now. I'll have another video up soon. Sorry guys, I missed something I should have added. In regards to this error I've got here, this side here is pretty good, is in that lip there. So after I finished the video, I thought, how can I get around this? So what I've done, I've got this profile gauge. So you look at this, right? This is an untouched factory guard. So you look at that, perfect. And then you go to the custom garage arch, which is really good. Cannot fault this item. Put that in there. Look at that. Perfect. So what I'm thinking I'll do, I'm going to get this profile gauge. I'm going to get a bit of plastic like Perspex or something. And I'm going to make the perfect shape of that. And then I'm going to make, so it goes on there like that. And then I'm going to put filler and just use the filler and then run it around like that. That way I'll get a near perfect lip around here. And that'll be sweet then. So that'll get me to the point where it's close enough so I can just put polyprimer over it and get it just perfect. But that'll save me a shitload of time to be able to do that. So that'll be the next video, guys.